Hello everyone, Anna here. Today I am going to be crafting with our December craft box and show you a project I will make using the products from that box. So I just need to make sure I'm going to stay in frame. I am going to be using a canvas, little very thin canvas. This canvas has been in my stash for a really long time and I just wanted to create a little something I'm gonna be able to hang. In your December craft box you had a lot of craft cardstock, so you can obviously make a card, but in this case I just wanted to make something that I can hang on my wall or put it for sale, for example, on Etsy. Anyway, a few things I'm going to be using, and I kind of have a general idea of what I'm going to do. We will see how we go. Okay, so to start with, I am going to paint this little canvas with two paints. Lumiere are some of my favorite paints. They're beautiful, they're two-toned paints, and I am going to be using this violet one. It's number 557 Halo Violet Gold and 555 Halo Pink Gold, although it's very orangey. Okay, this canvas has already been gessoed, not by me, it's been pre-gessoed. Ideally I should really gesso it again, but I'm just going to go with it because I just don't want to wait for it to dry. So, Lumiere paints really need to be mixed up. There's a lot of pigment, a lot of mica in them, so I'm just going to mix them up. And my idea for this is to have like a two-tone colour, kind of maybe orange going to the lilac-y violet or violet going to orange. I am going to be using this paper. In your pack you have a set of thick and thin papers. This is one of the thin ones that I had in my pack. So I'm going to be using this paper. So I'm thinking I will do orange and then going into violet. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm just going to open my paint after I've mixed them up. Okay, love these paints, they're so luminous. Okay, so starting from the side here, I am going to just take a little bit of orange and get, oh look at this colour, that pink really shines through, but it is mainly orange, this colour. I'm just going to bring it back in frame so you can see the whole thing. Okay, just want to make sure I have a half decent coverage. I'm not going to be covering all of it because I am actually going to be sticking the paper on around this side. So okay, so that's fine. I'm not going to actually clean my brush, but I am going to go into the lid of the purple paint and I am going to start purple somewhere here, and I'll show you in a second how I'm going to blend these two colours, because that's a really cool thing with the Lumiere paints. Okay, so I'm just going to go back and forth and just blend one colour into another until I get a fairly good blend that I'm happy with. Okay. Alright, so I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to make that purple colour a little bit stronger on this side here. And this is where I'm going to finish with the painting. Just going to get that a little bit. Okay. Alright, so that's fine. Obviously you need to make sure that your edges are covered as well. And I do have quite a lot of paint here. So I'm just going to go very gently around the edges here and then here. So I need to make sure I'm in the frame. Okay, that's fine, and I am going to cover this side as well because it will be covered with the paper but won't be covered with the paper on the edges. So I'm just going to make sure this is painted. Okay, fine. Where are we? Here. Okay, that's fine. I can now take just a little bit of that orange and just make sure that the other side is perfectly covered too. Okay, okay, that's fine. Alright, now I'm going to let it dry for a moment. I'm just going to put it to the side. let it dry. Okay, so my canvas is now fairly dry. Okay, I can just move on with this. I'm just going to take my little paper and just put it on here because it still may be a little bit wet underneath. Okay, so I'm going to be using a frame. This is the frame you all got in your December craft box. This frame is a second. It's not perfect, but I don't mind. But obviously yours were really nice and straight. So just to make sure that everyone knows you didn't get a wonky little frame. And then I'm going to be using a set of these flowers. Again, you got a set of flowers along with this resin nest in your box. I am going to be using some of the metal pieces. I am going to be using a little envelope. I'm going to be using part of the applique, and I may use some gems and little sparkles. We will see. We will see what happens. Okay, so as I said, I want to use the paper here. So I am thinking of starting to use around here. This is 6x6 paper, so I'm going to have to do it in 2 parts, but that's fine. Okay, so I just want to rip it a little bit, just give it a little bit of a ragged look. Okay, and start around here so I can just stick it on here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, and then I will do some more at the bottom. I am kind of imagining this a little bit more at the angle. So that's what I'm going to do. I use I use glossy accents for pretty much all my kind of adhering, just because I really like the fact it's just not going to budge. So this is what I'm going to do here as well. I just want to get into these edges here, so I'm just going to do that. The paint is still a little bit wet, so that will help the paper to stick, but just to make sure that it's going to stick properly. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add the paper around here, and then I will cut off the excess. Okay, that's fine. And I just need a little bit more at the bottom, so I will just do the same here as we did. This is weighted straight. Okay, just something like this. Okay, maybe, yeah, that's gonna be fine. Yep, I think I need to get this done as well. Okay, that's perfect. So just gonna get this adhered. Okay, lovely. Okay, that's done. It's just a little bit of a paper collage there. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a good pressing so that I make sure everything is properly adhered. And I'll take scissors and flip on the other side and cut off the rest of the paper. Anything that's a little too much will go. Okay. I'm sorry about the dog barking. Something is going on outside of my window. Okay, that's fine. So that's our canvas. Now I'm going to start embellishing, and I'm thinking of putting a frame here, somewhere around here, and then I am also going to put this lace on the side, but I think that lace is just a little bit too bright for this canvas, so I'm going to take a spray and spray it with a different colour. I'm thinking of adding a little bit of brown. So I've got the Glimmer Mist, and I'm going to take my spray box And in my spray box I will pop that lace and then give it a good spritz. It's lovely. That's the beauty of this kind of fabric, that it takes the sprays really well. I just noticed I didn't spray it that well, so but that's just a little bit, so I can just add it here. That's fine. Okay, now I'm just going to take my heat gun. Okay, so now that the lace is dry, I am going to put that on my project. Okay. Alright, I think that will work just fine. One of the things I really liked about this applique is that it's very easy to divide into smaller pieces. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to separate the one half from the other half, and just only going to use one half on this specific project. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side and use it on some other project. I could actually use it this way. I quite like it. Quite like this look. Okay, so I'm going to cut some of those leaves off, but that's fine. Again, I will use glossy accents. As I said, I use glossy accents for absolutely everything. It's perfect, and I'm just going. I am only going to put on some of the bigger parts, not everywhere. Okay. Yep. You could also use matte multi-medium, and thinking about it, matte multi-medium would be a bit better, because if something seeps through this, then it may just show a little bit glossy, because obviously it is glossy accents. With matte multi-medium you wouldn't have this, but okay, but that will do for now. Okay. Alright, I am going to let this dry for a moment. And I'll be back when that's done. Okay, so I'm going to continue now with my project now that it's just a little bit drier. Just a little bit, it's not super dry. In your craft box, in the December craft box, you received some of this beautiful ribbon. I'm going to do a little kind of folded ribbon. I don't really know how to call it. So I have a super sticky thick tape. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and going to put it on my craft sheet. And actually I'm going to put it here so that you can see. Just going to try to keep it fairly flat if I only can, so that I am in frame. Okay, and now I'm going to take a little bit of ribbon and we'll start folding it on top of this tape. So to start with, I'm just going to take just a little bit and fold it like that. And I really don't want this to be absolutely perfect. Let me just move this a little bit. I just want this to be just fairly artistic. Okay, I just need to take some of it off. This tape is incredibly sticky, and that's the obviously beauty of it. Okay, so we're just going to keep folding it. It will look like this. And I'll keep doing this until I have enough of the tape to go across of my piece. Okay. I just need to go a little bit to the side. I really don't want to make it too perfect. Okay, I think we are pretty much there. Let's just stick this back on. That's fine. I'm just going to cut this off that in a bin and cut this bit off as well. And now I have this lovely ribbon with the sticky tape at the back of it. I'm just going to squeeze it quite a lot just to make sure, push it and press it just to make sure it's all properly adhered. Okay, and I really want this ribbon to go across like here, so I'm just going to cut this on the side, take excess away, we don't need this now. Okay, and we'll press it somewhere around here. Okay, now I can take my take the backing foil off my of the tape. Okay, got that in the end. I'm just gonna get that unstuck. Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no. This was not part of the plan. This is so incredibly sticky. Wow. Okay, 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 okay. That's crafting at its core. When things are going wrong, embrace your imperfections. Okay, and we will pop that ribbon somewhere around here and stick it really, really well. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to take my scissors and cut the excess off. That's fine, and then do the same here. I just knocked off all my flowers. Okay, we will need them in a moment, so I'm just gonna get them. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so what I wanted to do is I want to put this envelope here, and then I want to put my little frame and around the bird and just to kind of frame the bird. And this will be my center point of this little piece. And then I have a bunch of flowers, and these flowers will go some on the side here. So we will have a flower here, then the daisy, and then either this, no, we need some more contrast. So I'll probably put, yeah, I want daisy there. I'll put these three flowers there. Okay, and now we also have this really pretty metal elements that came in a box, and I think they would be quite nice put around here. If we could have them kind of peeking through. That's quite pretty. Okay, let's do this. Again, I'm going to take my glossy accents, not too much because this paper is fairly thin, but I do want this adhered. Okay, and just stick this to here. It's perfect. And then I'll take quite a lot of glossy accents and use it to adhere my frame. This frame is quite heavy, so we will need quite a lot here. Okay, and we'll let it dry. Perfect. Okay, so now we need to do the same with the flowers. Again, I use glossy accents for everything. I must have said it a million times, I'm sorry, but I really do. And I'm just thinking, where do I want this little metal piece? Okay, so I kind of feel like it should be somewhere here. But do I, oh, actually this would look really nice on the side here. But then depending how it's going to look like with the flowers. You see, that's the whole kind of creative process. I'm just talking to myself here, talking to the camera, but that's how I create. I do really like this. I just feel like this would be, how about, no, okay. Alright, I think something like this would be nice. The only problem is going to be how I'm going to keep it. Okay, I'm going to have to put something heavy on top whilst Glossy Accents is doing its job and sticking things. Okay, sticking to things. Right, so loads of Glossy Accents again. Okay, just stick my flower here. Then the same goes on here. Stick my flower to the side. And then daisy. I need to remember that I need to go more towards that direction, so I make sure I'm still in frame. Okay, so leave this on for a moment until that gets stuck on properly. I do have my little bird, and I have been thinking that because this bird is pink and this big bird here is mauve, I think it would be really nice, and the contrast would be, no contrast, but it would pull things together if I just put the bird here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put loads of glossy accents again. Glossy accents, it's just awesome, it's a fantastic adhesive. And stick my little birdie here. So the birdie will go with the mauve ribbon and the mauve bird here, and some kind of mauvey elements we have on top. So I'll leave that for a moment just to get that to stick onto this piece and dry. Obviously this is not going to be dry for quite a while, but that's fine, as long as it kind of catches, that's okay. And yeah, I think this will look quite nice. If I just add this, I may have to move this daisy stem to the side. I do curl the stems, I think they're really adding something pretty and feminine, so I don't cut them off. I think it's an absolute waste. It's a technique I've learned a really long time ago. So okay, just going to add glossy accents to this little metal filigree. And now this is going to be a little bit tricky to get adhered, so I'm going to have to pop something heavy on top of that little metal bit. And whilst this is drying, I'm going to also add this metal element. And this is what I really like about products I deliver to you guys. I really want them to be to go a long way. And for example, with the applique, I wanted you to be able to cut it in parts and use it on different projects, and you know, I wanted it to be very dividable. And it's the same situation with those metal filigrees, because what you can do is you can break them into smaller pieces. And if you've seen my Christmas card that I've posted on Facebook, I am going to put a picture here. Then you would have, you might have noticed that I did this before, and I used these two parts in different parts of the card, and I used this little tab as an actual kind of tab on a calendar date, 25th, and I thought that was really as a good idea to make your supplies go further, because you don't necessarily need to have this entire big piece on a project. You may just want to put little elements here and there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I have this little bit here, and I'm thinking of placing it somewhere here just to really kind of pull it together. I am going to take again my glossy accents. So just put quite a lot here just to make sure it will catch. Okay, pop that there. Okay, so I think I am getting there, and I'm quite close to finishing this piece, and it is how I would like it to be. Now I also have a pin. Obviously you got those pins in your December craft box. Maybe here. Yeah, that's definitely a better idea. Okay, I like that here. Okay, perfect. All right. So I also have this little bling here, and I'm thinking of putting some of it on my project. Just going to take this out, especially those gold ones, and that clear one would be great. These are stuck on really well. That adhesive is quite very strong. Okay, so where can we put it so that it kind of complements everything? I'm clearly drawn to this corner. Oh, hello. Just peeking through here a little bit. That's cute. Hello. Alright, and I also have this yellow / gold bit, and that will go with our vintagey feel we have going on here. So I will just get that unstuck. If you lose the adhesive whilst you're getting these unstuck, then just use any other adhesive you're using, for example glossy accents. I'm thinking that I'm going to pop this gold element here and stick it on, so it's just peeking through a little bit, so it's just going to catch the sun whenever the sun will hit it. Okay, so I think I've finished now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and this creative process, and I hope it inspired you to do more with your December craft box. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!